Right, this is Frédéric's testimony, and it says, "Hello everyone. My name is Frédéric, and I am a deaf Spanish Christian currently living in Normandy, France. I started looking for Jesus while at Downey High School in south of Los Angeles suburbs. At the age of 17, I met a deaf pastor in a small Baptist church, but I couldn't understand anything, so I left. When I was 18, I went back to Spain to be reunited with my family and started looking for Jesus again. It was there that I met a young English lady, a Pentecostal, who explained the gospel of Jesus and God's plan for my salvation, and understood better. She introduced me to Kenneth Copeland's ministry and gave me the first Bible I had, the Good News Bible, as a gift from her, so it was that year that I accepted Jesus in 1998, just before moving to Austria. On my arrival in Austrian Alpines, just outside of Innsbruck, I met an Austrian Christian family to open the first deaf mission with the gospel in Austrian Sign Language. I learned German very fast too. After a disastrous election in Austria, I quickly left to Switzerland for a few months, then went to Ireland. In 2005, I met Kenneth Copeland in Belfast during the Bible preaching venue and his wife Gloria, a faith healer, and she came to me because she noticed that I was deaf, and she tried to heal my deaf ears to open them, but nothing happened. I do not know what tongue speaking is, which I hear about at the Pentecostal churches, and I saw a pastor reading many different Bible versions, as Kenneth Copeland did the first time I met him, but that was until I first heard about John Davis of Time for Truth from the Hope Chapel regarding the corrupt Bible version issue, and a deaf man warned me about the dangers and errors in the charismatic movement of Pentecostal churches. I immediately left that large, crowded Dublin Pentecostal church right after God called me to leave the wrong church. I found a King James Bible-believing Baptist church in Dublin, Ireland. I went to Bible College for the Deaf, a King James Baptist church in northern Georgia in the United States. But John Davis is right about going to Bible college. It is a waste of time and money, so I returned back to Ireland. Most deaf who graduated with a full degree did not serve the Lord according to the Bible. Before I arrived in France in 2011, a man called Ted Camp, a founder of the Silent Word, a special American deaf ministry, had asked me to see the Huffman family to help with deaf ministry just outside of Paris. Suddenly, the missionary pastor, Robert Huffman, passed away just before I arrived. On my return from Dublin, Ireland, a few months later, I voluntarily agreed to go to France to begin evangelizing the deaf who communicate by sign language. In France, there are fewer than 200 of them deaf Christians, and most of them are Pentecostals. Knowing that there was neither a Bible-believing, independent church suitable for the deaf in France, nor a church that could have supported my deaf ministry, nor any deaf missionary agencies to help me, I decided to go it alone and openly launched an evangelistic outreach to the deaf because they required a full Bible college degree in order to get a church plant financial support. Without any funding or help from a single church, I created the group Dites nous la vérité, probably butchering that, equivalent to Time for Truth, which operates with its own funding to preach the gospel to deaf in French Sign Language. We have formed a group of independent deaf Christians and are still looking for a place to plant an independent Bible-believing church for the deaf. Our Bible meeting takes place every Saturday morning and afternoon because there is no public transport on Sundays for deaf people coming from the distant area. We have a Bible study for the deaf once a week at my home or at a brother's home, depending on the number of places. We have numerous activities such as hiking, volleyball, deaf retreat, summer Bible camp and various workshops. Knowing that most deaf people in France have a limited vocabulary and find it difficult to understand the Bible on their own, we need a special ministry for the deaf. The drawing biblical artwork is our main mission for preparing a weekly sermon and deaf soul winning. The problem for deaf Christians in France is that the Jehovah's Witnesses began to spread in French Sign Language back in the 1970s. Many deaf people went to the Jehovah's Witnesses first. Now that they've increased in numbers, and today the tongue-speaking, fake-healing Pentecostal churches are on the rise among the deaf in France, Germany and the UK. That's why I've come here to ask for your prayers for my group of 13 deaf Christians, mostly former Jehovah's Witnesses, and we appreciate your support or donation for printing more gospel tracts in French. Please contact Peter Printbridge with the reference of my deaf ministry, or see me after the service for more details. Thank you, and may the Lord bless you, and thank you for supporting Time for Truth.